So I guess we should talk a bit more about what you do.
Yeah.
Why
I met you.
Not this time, bitch! Well, hell! Oh there, my fellow resin monkeys. It's been a hot minute. I am happy to bring you the next installment in the SPU series that I'm doing. Today's spotlight is on none other than Princess Venus. I know a lot of you have been very patient in waiting for this video. Some of you not so much, but hey, I hope it doesn't disappoint. If this is your first time in my channel, welcome! My name is Leona, they call me the Resin Queen, and although I do a lot of shoujo and cute figures on this channel, I have absolutely no filter, and my mouth runs wild. If you're into that, you should definitely click on that subscribe button. You know, the Bitter Club is always wanting more people to join in. I also live stream on Twitch, and if you want to see me over there, completely raw and unfiltered and having a good time at my own personal expense, you should definitely join us for our weekly get-togethers for the shenanigans. I do both English and Spanish live streams, so if that's your cup of tea, you should definitely come and join in. And if you like what you see on this channel, along with my work and maybe my face, you should definitely consider joining my Patreon. There's a lot of exclusive content over there only for patrons, and we have a Discord server where we each month we each month get together and have our monthly meetups. If Patreon is not your thing, but you would still like to support my work, hey, YouTube has actually added the super thanks button now to my channel, so scroll on down there and maybe throw in a buck or two if you want and if it's within your possibility. And I can't be a real YouTuber if I don't say hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and just stay for a while. And listen, I mean stay for a while, check out the video, and yeah, help me grow this channel and help me reach that 100k subs goal that a lot of people have nowadays, and I'm very close to getting to that. I promise if you guys get me to 100k subs, you will definitely get more content. Also, before we start, guys, in my last video, a lot of you pointed to something that completely derailed, I think, the focus of the actual video of me working with a figure and completely turning it onto something else, and that something else was my personal appearance. Oh, Father forbid you be a woman on the internet and have something physically change to the point where people notice it and can't stop pointing at it. So I believe it is time to address the elephant in the room. Guys, we need to talk about the physical changes with my nails. Okay, I honestly did not imagine the amount of attention that having my nails painted in the last video would capture so much of the imaginations of all you guys for some reason, and a lot of comments poured in about the whole different manis that you see me using in said video. Now, there comes a time in a woman's life where she may want to change things a little bit, and me painting my nails for the first time in this channel was apparently something worth noting. So yes, I did see your comments. Yes, thank you for noticing. No, I do not give tutorials. You guys got shit ton of nail channels for that. Don't come and ask me for what? So with that out of the way, I hope we can focus on what's really important in these videos. like inflating my ego in each new one of them. Okay? Okay, I think we hit the nail on the coffin with that. Let's get this shit started, okay? Okay. Alright, let's get this diva out of her box and get on with it. As always, no imitations or substitutions. We can appreciate Wanzi's holographic sticker here and where you can buy his kits from. Not gonna lie, the box designs that they do is always very, very pretty, and I always make an effort to save them and not throw them away because they're so pretty. And right out of the box, we have our little numbered postcard along with the parts breakdown, and honestly, I have a feeling that I'm in for a treat just by looking at how the hair sets are divided. I love that they take so much care and love into packing the parts of the kit so that nothing breaks in transit. And what is this? 2 heads? 2 heads. 2 heads, meaning that I won't have to condition each set of hair like I did with the rest of the Senshi Princesses? I don't know what to say. Wanzi! It was about fucking time. I'm kidding. Maybe. Either way. Thank you. Thank you so much, Wanzi, for making this less painful. The parts continue to come with pre-installed magnets for those that prefer to use them. Eye decals, but if you've been on this channel long enough, you know that we don't need them. Ah, yes, my arch nemesis, the back frame. I'll deal with you later. And my suspicions were true. I'm gonna have a ball working on the hair pieces. Pray for me. And again, like the previous princesses, the bottom half of her body has been casted inside the clear resin, which I don't see a use for this because I'm still gonna cover the whole thing with Opaque. Anyways, moving on. Like all projects, the first thing I do is clean the parts. Now, I will not be treating the clear ones because they have been pre-worked and glossed, which works as a primer. But the rest will get dunked into some purple power for good measure. That's strange. I thought the star was a separate piece from the oh. Yes, of course. How silly of me. Of course they were separated. Looks like the torso was also casted in clear resin. Oh, yeah, no. No, the pieces were just magnetized. Don't mind me, I'm just a great example of think before you speak. But now I see both pieces. I'm actually a little worried for the straps because they be very thin, and if I'm not careful, they could break. Alrighty then, I'm gonna do some putty work straight away because I'm not one to use magnets here and I prefer to just pin my pieces. But like always, this is just personal preference, so I'm just removing all the magnets and filling up those holes left behind. Your trusted friend or your sworn ally. No, it's the harshest mistress of all. And life is just a chain of moments spent, 1,000 hellos and goodbyes. Now I am gonna do some premature pinning here, just for the pieces of the hair. They be plenty, and for me to be able to putty in between them, I need a good inner support to pull it off. There will be some pieces that I won't really pin like the legs because they will fit very snugly once puttied and glued. They're inside the dress, so there's no risk of them actually falling off.
Seasons come and pass, one after the last, and along we go. The shift and pull of the tides never sleeps. But
Interestingly enough, the upper torso doesn't really fit into the dress piece unless it's at a slight angle, so I'll need to make a mental note of that, but while I do that, I need to putty and fill the gaps in between these two parts and the arms along with it. Little by little, I work on each segment, being very careful to not over putty so that I can easily separate the pieces once it has hardened. The only thing I'm happy about this is that the hair will have the same effect as the previous princesses, where it's opaque at the roots and it gets transparent as it goes to the tips. So the paint can cover up all this putty in between the parts, and also I don't have to worry about the color changing like what happened with Mercury. Speaking of Mercury, I wanted to acknowledge that you guys pointed out something in my last Senshi Princess video about her hair. Now I said that she has the shortest hair out of all the Senshis. And you guys were like, oh my God, Leona, that's not true. I just want to say I still stand by that. Because she is the one with the shortest hair from the inner Senshi. The inner Senshi. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything else. The Senshi are divided in inner and outer. Inner Senshi. She's the one with the shortest hair. So you can all just calm your tits, okay? Calm them. They're flying all over the place.
Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes, pain and suffering. I am not going to sugarcoat this. The hair pieces almost broke me. There were so many gaps in between the hairs, particularly on the set that flows downwards. I spent a good 2 weeks just trying to get all the pieces to fill in between so that they can fit and stay in place. But the problem lied in the parts needing to sit still and at a correct level while the putty was hardening. Not only that, but I couldn't work with more than 3 parts at a time, so it took more than a while for me to actually get any significant progress. This is where you can appreciate how the parts are actually broken down and how they're not leveled well enough for the head to fit in and stay in place. So I needed to putty each piece individually so that I can fill in all that negative space. Not only that, but the top of her hair also had a huge ass gap that needed to be dealt with. But I'm not gonna touch that right now. No, I'll wait a little later. There were many times where I wanted to give up on this, but there hasn't been a single kit yet that has defeated me, and my very severely bruised modeler ego will not let me back down at this point. I actually had to remove some of the putty I had worked on because the pieces simply didn't want to align, and the top of the head was just left in an awkward position that didn't look good at all. And after many trials and tribulations, I managed to finally get both hair pieces puttied and filled to my somewhat satisfaction. I decided to leave this in to show you guys that even with 16 years of experience over my shoulders, I still struggle, I still get disappointed, mad, and frustrated with the work I do. A kit will almost always have some issue. Sometimes some parts will not be placed exactly as the ones you see in the sample pictures, but as long as it looks good and close enough to what the sculptor intended it to look like, I think it's always a win. Plus, nobody needs to know it. Well, you guys seeing this video now know it, and I'm royally fucked over in that sense, but hey, you're here for the thrill of watching me suffer for your entertainment. And remember what I said about those spaghetti strings being too thin and getting worried over them breaking? Of course, this can't be a Senshi Princess video without me breaking shit. I ain't mad at it anymore. After the whole ordeal with the hair, this is honestly nothing. So I'm just gonna repair the shit with the tiniest brass wire I got and get it over with. Putty work is done at this point, so you know what that means. It's sanding time. With all that putty, there wasn't much left to do than to sand the shit out of it as best as I could so that I could blend the putty onto the surface without it being too noticeable once painted. I took my time in detailing and sanding the hair because it was one with more work on it, and I wanted to be careful and not screw it up because it was a lot of hard work, and one slip of the tool and it's all done for. Unfortunately, a very small gap was still left in between the head and the hair, so I decided to just putty the inside of the head instead of the hair this time. The gap was small enough and I could easily hide it and you wouldn't really notice it. I sanded the little bit of excess away and she's finally ready for a little pinning. I didn't have to do a lot of pinning to her, so just for her heads, plural, and torso. The arms won't be pinned either because the bodywork was very well done at this point, and they're very tight when connected and are pretty stable without the fear of them popping out once glued. Be careful there, you little klutz. You don't want to break the strap again now, do we? The right strap that falls from her shoulder is supposed to go on top of her arm, but you know me, always being extra, I decided to heat bend it a little and make it go under. This is a personal preference, it's just I like how it looks that way, but it should have been placed on top covering the arm original. Again, personal preference. Okay, now with all that chaos behind us, let's get painting by first priming the thing. Like I had mentioned before, Venus's hair will have the same format as the previous princesses, so opaque to clear. This means that I need to prime just the roots to hide that putty. Priming lets you see imperfections left behind from the prep that your eyes weren't really able to catch. So it's a good time to bring out your fine sanding paper to smooth that shit out. And now I can see the real damage to her shoulder strap. So I'll go ahead and finish the repairs because it was hard to see with the clear resin. And like the previous girls, I am removing the necklace bumps to give them gem effects, even though it's hard to see due to it being out of focus. You're welcome. One last fit before repriming and making sure the shit looks good. And for the back frame, I am going to use Tamiya's clear flat instead of the regular Mr. Super clear flat. I think it gives a way better frosted glass effect than the latter. Okay, let's get this phallic party started. What? You don't see it? Well, it's Sailor Penis after all.
You don't believe me? Let me refresh your memory.
That's a penis!
What's that? Thanks for ruining Sailor Venus to you. You're welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Where was I? Oh yes, painting the shaft, I mean the dress. Same effect as the hair, starting opaque at the top and getting transparent at the bottom of the dress. Even though the primer was white, I'm still gonna start painting the skin with a white base to get a better coverage, and I will continue to use Modo's Pro Mix paint, which I've been using for the past 3 Senshi videos. I've already showed you how to use this many times, but in case this is your first time in my channel, you can find the link to the tutorial video in the video cards above. I'm going to be doing some custom mixing for the clear part of the dress because she will have the same holographic effects as the others. So I'll start clear and make it go opaque as it goes up. And it's only when you shine light directly on the surface that you can actually appreciate the delicious halo on the dress. Now, I'm not a really big fan of the color yellow. I know some illustrations make her look like that's the only color that she has, but after looking at some official recent art from Sailor Moon Eternal, I noticed that it's not really yellow if I compare it to her hair. So I'm going to be more of a between yellow and orange color for her. And to give it a more satin fabric-y look, I'm going to add some pearl orange from SMS Paints and then clear coat it with a mix of gloss and flat to actually make it look like satin. Something about this part of the dress doesn't look right to me. I can't put my finger on it. I know I wanted it opaque to clear effect, but this doesn't look right. Oh.
Don't hide it. See it from a mile away.
Oh, hey, welcome. What can I get you?
Hey, can I get today's special, please?
Today's special?
Yeah.
Perfect. Idiot sandwich.
There you go. Enjoy.
Was it up to your standards?
Humor's a little dry.
This is what happens when you think you know what you're doing and then you realize that this part was actually completely clear to be over the dress so you can see through it. So with some thinner and some elbow grease, I had to remove the primer and leave it completely clear to get that correct effect for this part of the dress veil. Once clean, I'm going to mix clear yellow and clear white. The clear white makes the paint look a little milky, which is what I want. I don't want it completely clear. And when that's done, I'll do a pass with clear white pearl to complete the look. For the hair, I'm going to go the same route as Serenity, doing a white base and then applying the yellow over it. In the end, I did do several different tones of yellow and brown to give her more depth with highlights and shadows instead of just leaving it with just a single tone of yellow. I think it gives her more pizzazz, more life. Now let's get some pastel shadings done for her hair and the skin. I didn't really feel the dress needed any more because it might oversaturate the color, and if I add too much, it's just not gonna look right. So just these two areas will get some extra love for now. And once that was done, I sealed it again and added those holographic sparkles to the hair that goes up to complete the magical effect.
I hold on to this storm 'cause I need to be swept away, swept away. I'm cornered in the cold where you left me. Left again, left again. Oh, there's a jungle in my head growing wilder, and it's killing me, killing me. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go.
I didn't have to do a lot of masking as always, but those petals on the dress are the only headache that I actually have to deal with. But since that circle cutter thingy that I purchased the last time, it's been easier to mask faster. I'm also just going to cover the whole thing with a single piece of cellophane plastic and just cut small slits on top of each petal to just cut a little more masking time that way. Even if it's just a 10% decrease in time, hey, it's still 10% less time than before. Now it's just time to finish painting those petals and her lovely little shoes. Now some people have asked why I don't paint the petals just like the illustrations with each Senshi color. Short answer is because I don't fucking.
The long answer to that, it came out some time ago when a lot of you pointed out in my previous videos that you all liked how the red petals connected back to Princess Serenity. It's definitely that. And not because I didn't really think really through it and just went with it. Because you know what? Great minds think alike. And that's why I like you.
I also decided to give her shoes a pearly orange and seal them really, really glossy. Even if you can't really appreciate them once displayed, I know the effect is there if I see it beneath the dress, and that satisfies my inner artistic snob. And once the painting part was done, all that's left is just fine-tune and detail those petals. I can never forget to detail those fingers. It doesn't matter how small they are, I always look forward to doing this part. And I also decided to not use that goddamn gold leaf shit anymore after the results on Mercury, and I'm going back to what I know looks good. So back to my trusty old gold paint I go! Keeping with the pattern with the previous Senshi Princesses, where I added very slight accents of gold, I am going to do the same with Venus, but instead of doing it on some part of her dress, where I don't seem to find anywhere to actually put the accents, I'm just gonna add like a little tiny ribbon of gold around her transparent veil on her dress. I think gold accents make the dresses look more elegant, and that's what I'm gonna do with the theme of these Senshi Princesses along in my videos. Adding those tiny hollow glitters to replace the beads on her necklace and make them pop a little more. Now, ever since that whole damn Swarovski debacle last year of them getting a stick up their ass and not selling crystals to regular people anymore, I had to procure them through alternate means for these projects. Here you go. Hey, got the goods. Got the goods? I got them. Give me the goods. Sure, coming right up. I actually was able to buy some colors before the deadline, but I couldn't get my hands on a couple of them. And I will just say thank you to a very special person. You know who you are. So now I have all the colors that I need for the rest of the Senshi Princesses for when the time comes. And I'm adding those crystals and hollow glitter to make those magical trails for them petals. Now, of course, Mercury has her water element, Mars had fire, and I gave it to them both as themes for their dresses, but Venus, her element is love, light. I honestly didn't really know what to do or come up with for an element theme for her dress until I saw that my holographic glitter also had these little star ones in the mix, and that's where I got the idea to just add little trails of stars going up her dress. Venus is, I guess, love, light, and she needs to bedazzle. She needs to have bling, so much bling that she fucking blinds you with light, and that's what I went with. Finally, leaving the best for last. Of course not. Let's get those faces looking pretty. Although the kit does come with eye decals, I'm too good for that. I mean, I will paint my own styles and versions. So that's what we're gonna do. Last time I decided to work on the frame first, but this time I left it for the end.
It no longer holds power over me.
And being that I saw how bad the hair pieces was gonna be, this was honestly going to be the easy part of the project, hence why I poured all my attention into that. Now that the clear flat has cured and dried, I'll start up by first outlining all the flower elements so that I can apply liquid masking on those edges and not worry about it not evenly covering and having to do more touch-ups than needed. And again, this circle masking tape cutter has been a godsend. It's been way easier to mask the frame with this and less time consuming. Still tedious, but it does reduce masking by at least 30%. I am not a fan of hand painting due to it leaving some brush strokes on the surface, but from what I've lived and learned with these Senshi Princesses is to know when and how to pick your battles. So I'll be doing some light hand brushing on the sand part of the back frame, along with the green parts of the flowers and the symbol. Also, using sticky tack to mask some areas on the fly has also saved me so many headaches. I know some of you have suggested silly putty, but I can't get it here, and if I can, it'd be too expensive. But sticky tack, it's pretty cheap and easy to find, so I'll stick with that. I'm also adding some alien color shifting paint to the water because I fucking want to, okay? No particular reason. And to paint the inside of the shell, what better paint effect to use than a mother of pearl from SMS Paints. Also, always be fucking sure to secure the cap on your paint bottles because accidents can happen and you'll be left with half a bottle of expensive paint before you know it and a new skin color for yourself. And let's add more sparkle to that frame by mixing up some UV resin with some yellow dye and hollow pigments. And be sure to cut your dye bottle away from where you're working because shit flies everywhere and you may not notice it until it's too late and you have to take your blood pressure medication to calm yourself down because of the huge fuck up you did because you were careless. Yeah, I did get pissed. Yep, I did want to cry. No, I did not throw this out the window. Yes, I had to strip the paint and do it again, but I'm not gonna dignify that with footage because I wasn't in the headspace to make fun of myself at that point. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. Live and learn. And just as I did the outlines for the flowers, I'm going to do the same for the decorations so that I can apply liquid masking in between those narrow spaces and not worry about the paint not being even. Now, I'm sorry if there's not a lot of good footage on how I did this, but this is how I had to hold the frame in order to actually get the paint in between those edges. Riveting, I know. You know, I'm happy to live in an era where we now have HD pictures of our actual planets. Now I have a great guide on how to paint her planet and what colors to use to make it as close as possible as the real thing. And before I paint those flowers, I'm going to mask off those rose petals because the color on the front will always show on the back, and to avoid fucking this up any further, I'd rather mask this off and then come back to it later once the sunflowers are done. And lastly, the ribbon that decorates the edges of the frame. Now, I've had this theme where I did the gradient to change between the main colors, but Venus's bow color is blue. And if I did a gradient from blue to yellow, I'd get green in between, and I don't want that. So in this rare instance, I will break the pattern and paint the bow blue, but leave the other two colors as orange going up to yellow. It's not something I would have wanted, but goddamn color theory is a bitch, and some sacrifices need to be made for the greater good. And before this is over, I want to take this moment and personally thank and salute all my Resin Monkey army on Patreon. It's not without their support that I can bring you guys these videos, which do take a lot of time in producing, and if you've liked what you've seen so far and would love to support me, consider becoming part of the Resin Monkey army. And of course, a very special thanks goes to Lightning F, Cpony Sarah, Aisha Lee, Grim Thanatos, Alessandra Matheny, Fiora Lily, Euphemism, Sage Rosado, Symmetria Townsend, Mandy Gordon, Pashosli, S.K. Lamfer, Meg Scrabble, Janice Rockford, James McCreary, Reenie B, Maverick 107, Megan Duffy, Kiki, Cannoli Rose, Nikki, Fake It Till You Make It Mom, Blech, Ishmi, Catsy, iMuse, Shasay Delany, Evelyn Cole, Amagon Rosh, and Laura Chan. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, guys. I really, really appreciate all the sacrifice you make to be able to support me, and it never goes unnoticed.
Hopefully you've enjoyed the ride with Princess Venus. You can actually purchase all of the future Senshi Princesses from Wanzi Studios on this website right here, and you can just give him a follow over on Instagram. Tell him Leona sent you. Also, be sure to check out the description area of the video in case you are interested in buying some or maybe all of the materials and tools that I used in not only this video, but many more. You guys know that when I produce one of these Senshi Princess videos, I throw everything, including the kitchen sink, into it. Producing these videos not only take a lot of time painting not only the figure, but editing and filming and all that good stuff. It takes a while, and it's really, really draining, and not only effort and time, but funds as well, believe it or not. So I would appreciate if you would share this video with your friends or your Mooney communities. Leave a comment down in the comment section and help the algorithm notice me so that, you know, more people can watch these videos. And hey, like I said before at the beginning of the video, if you are interested in obviously supporting this channel, the new Super Thank button is now available on my channel, so even $1 goes a long way if you can and if you want to. If that's not possible, just share the video everywhere you can think of. Not only that, but you can share the other 3 videos that I made previous to this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the reveal, and I hope to see you in future installments of my SPU series. You're still here? The video's over. You can click out of it now. Nobody ever stays for the ending of the video. You were expecting something random? Sorry, I got no fucks to give at this point. You can follow me on TikTok now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm on TikTok now. Yeah, you can go follow me there. Princess Jupiter is right after this one. Okay, bye.